Hey everyone, today we're diving into Hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. Do you often feel overwhelmed by distractions, struggling to complete important tasks? In a world where constant notifications and interruptions steal our attention, this book offers practical strategies to help you regain control and focus on what truly matters. Stick with us till the end to learn how you can boost your productivity and master the art of focus. Our attention is constantly pulled in different directions, and sometimes it feels impossible to focus on what's truly important. Are you someone who finds it difficult to stay concentrated on a single task? Do you often end up multitasking or losing hours to distractions like social media or TV? These habits can drain your time and keep you from reaching your full potential. Hyperfocus is here to change that. In this summary, you'll discover how to sharpen your focus, minimize distractions, and use your mental energy more effectively. We'll also explore ways to cultivate productive habits and manage your attention wisely. If you're ready to transform the way you work and accomplish more in less time, then this is the guide for you. So let's get started.
Switching off autopilot mode. When you're in autopilot mode, you can't give your full attention to anything. Take Beth, for example. While getting ready for work, she's on autopilot. She wakes up, freshens up, has breakfast, and heads to her job. All the while, her mind is wandering, thinking about other things. We all switch to autopilot when doing repetitive tasks. You already know how to perform these actions because you've done them so many times before they've become habits. This works well for simple tasks like getting dressed or making breakfast, but living on autopilot all the time is not ideal. If you take a closer look, living in autopilot mode means living the same life every day. You go to work, spend hours glued to your phone, then come home and go to sleep. Weeks fly by in this routine. Is this how life is meant to be lived? Do you really want to spend the next few years like this? I doubt it. That's why you need to reclaim your attention and switch off autopilot. You can start by identifying what kind of tasks make up your daily routine. You need to choose the things that truly deserve your attention and learn to maintain that focus. Categorizing your tasks can help. There are two main factors that determine where your focus should go. The first factor is whether a task is productive or not, something that yields valuable results. For example, creating a report at work is a productive task. The second factor is whether a task is enjoyable or not. It's just as fun as, say, spending an hour watching videos of kittens and puppies. To sum it up, there are 4 ways to describe a task. A task can be productive and enjoyable, or it can be unproductive and unenjoyable. Some tasks are unproductive yet still enjoyable, while others can be productive but not enjoyable at all. A task becomes necessary when it is productive but not enjoyable. For instance, attending a meeting to discuss your company's annual budget is a necessary task. No one wants to spend the entire day talking about numbers, but it's something that has to be done. A task is unnecessary when it is both unproductive and unenjoyable. An example would be reorganizing your files in a new order. Instead of arranging them alphabetically, you decide to sort them from newest to oldest. At first, this might seem like a productive task, but it's really just procrastination. Rearranging your files isn't an urgent task. You're fooling yourself into thinking you're busy, but in reality, you're not. Another way to recognize unnecessary tasks is by considering what you'll achieve by doing them. A task is distracting when it's unproductive but still enjoyable. This is the category where you end up spending most of your day. A distracting task might be gossiping about others or endlessly scrolling through social media apps. Now, let's talk about the tasks you should be focusing on. These are called purposeful tasks that are both productive and enjoyable. Purposeful tasks not only make you happy, but also give you a deep sense of satisfaction. Purposeful tasks vary from person to person. For instance, Gail is an actress. For her, rehearsing her lines and performing well in front of the camera is a purposeful task. Ben, on the other hand, is a manager at a bank. His idea of a purposeful task is finding the right investments and potential clients. What's your definition of a purposeful task? Identify it and write it down. Gradually, categorize your entire day into the 4 categories mentioned earlier. Doing this will help you understand where your energy and time are going. In the end, you'll spend more time on purposeful tasks, bringing more fulfillment into your life.
The power of hyperfocus. Do you remember a time when you had a tight deadline for a project or research paper? You had plenty of time before the submission date, but what did you do? You probably worked without much distraction, and even if you did get distracted, you quickly redirected your attention back to the task. During that time, you likely didn't focus on anything else except the project. You were so immersed that you lost track of time. You might have started working at 6 p.m. and before you knew it, it was 10 p.m. What you experienced was a highly productive mode known as hyperfocus. Simply put, hyperfocus is when you channel all your attention into a single task without getting distracted. Even if distractions do arise, you can quickly regain focus. Most importantly, when you're in hyperfocus mode, you feel genuinely satisfied with what you're doing. For Polly, painting is purposeful work. She paints to earn a living, but she's also passionate about it. Whenever Polly paints, she is completely in hyperfocus mode. She might start painting in the afternoon and stay engrossed in it until late at night, completely losing track of time. Her attention is fully on the painting, and every brushstroke on the canvas brings her a deep sense of peace. In those moments, she feels neither stress nor fatigue. There are 4 stages to entering hyperfocus mode. 1. Choose a meaningful task. Start by selecting a task that's significant enough to capture your attention. Along with entering hyperfocus, it's important to set a clear intention. Think of it as mentally preparing your brain for serious work, like gearing up for an all-night study session. 2. Eliminate internal and external distractions. As mentioned earlier, hyperfocus makes you highly attentive to the task at hand. While distractions may arise, you can easily refocus. However, that doesn't mean dealing with distractions is always easy. The best way is to manage distractions in advance. Turn off phone notifications for a few hours and let your family and friends know you're busy. This will reduce your temptation to get distracted. 3. Focus for fixed periods. Your brain can't stay in hyperfocus mode all day. That level of concentration will eventually exhaust your mind, so decide how many hours of focus are realistic for you. 4. Learn to refocus. Maintaining hyperfocus requires practice. Did you know that your mind wanders 47% of the time during the day? That means if you're awake for 18 hours, you're only truly focused for about 8 hours. So don't worry if your mind occasionally drifts. Imagine you're in hyperfocus mode and you get an email. After reading it, you might check other apps, and before you know it, you're scrolling through cute animal videos. The key is to be aware when your attention shifts. When it happens, acknowledge it and gently bring your focus back to the main task. If you find it hard to get into hyperfocus mode, don't worry. There's another technique you can try strengthening your intentions. If you want to build a strong intention, you need to make it specific. This increases your chances of successfully following through with it. For example, Terrence had the intention of buying a new apartment. It's a good intention, but not a strong one. To find a new place to live, Terrence needed to be more specific. He had to think about when and where he would look at apartments. A strong intention would be for Terrence to search for apartments online and email at least 3 landlords each week. On the other hand, Jen has the intention of going to the gym. If Jen wants to succeed, she needs to reframe her intention. A strong intention would be, Jen will go to the gym near her office every day at 5 p.m. Let's say you have a bad habit of continuing to work after coming home. Set a strong intention to break this habit. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb mode, lock your laptop in a cabinet, and stop responding to office emails and texts. Strong intentions are as powerful as habits. Just like habits, strong intentions can be formed on autopilot. In other words, you can carry them out without overthinking. By setting firm intentions, you can gradually make them a natural part of your routine. Soon, they'll feel as effortless as breathing.
Making hyperfocus a habit. Jonathan wasn't getting enough sleep. He had been working on a presentation for the past 2 weeks and was so stressed that he had lost his appetite. This constant strain left Jonathan exhausted, making it hard for him to focus. Mary, Jonathan's colleague, faced a different challenge. She was completely disorganized. Her desk was always messy, and she often forgot about her meetings. The chaotic environment made it hard for her to concentrate. Then there was Kent, Jonathan, and Mary's boss. Kent was a good person, but his attention was always scattered. His mind constantly wandered to other things, like his car in the repair shop. As a result, he struggled to complete his work. Now, out of these 3, who do you think would find it hardest to enter hyperfocus mode? The answer is all of them. Stress, a disorganized work environment, and too many distractions all make it difficult to focus. Yet, despite these situations, it's still possible to enter hyperfocus mode. How do you do it? Start by working on a challenging task. When you work on something difficult, your mind becomes engaged and active, helping you focus. It keeps you busy. For example, Mary is disorganized because she often does boring, repetitive tasks, which causes her mind to wander. Her meetings and responsibilities don't challenge her enough to keep her focused. But simply finding a difficult task isn't always enough. Jonathan's presentation was difficult, yet it didn't help him focus. So, what can Jonathan do? He can make hyperfocus a habit. One way to build the habit of hyperfocus is through meditation. Now, the word meditation might sound spiritual to you. It might conjure up images of monks meditating in a mountain temple. However, meditation is an excellent way to improve focus, and you can do it daily. It's much like being in hyperfocus mode because you're concentrating on one thing. In meditation, you're often asked to focus on your breathing. As you meditate, you pay close attention to every breath. You focus on the sensation of air going in and out, noticing where you feel it, whether in your stomach or shoulders. Of course, meditation might sound boring, and your mind will wander. But that's the point. You need to train yourself to maintain your attention for short periods. Meditation helps you become aware when your mind is wandering. Once you notice this, you can bring your focus back to your breathing. Focusing on your breath is effective because it's a simple task. Over time, you can direct your attention to more challenging tasks like projects and presentations. Meditation also helps with big executive tasks. This means that whatever you choose to focus on, you can easily control your attention. For example, imagine you're in a crowded area and the noise of people around you is distracting you from studying your notes. With the help of meditation, you can learn to ignore the surrounding chatter. This is similar to focusing on your breath. Your mind will want to wander because the task may be boring, but the moment you catch your mind drifting, bring it back to your work. The more you practice this, the longer you'll be able to stay in hyperfocus mode. Is meditation not enough for you? There's another tool you can use to enter hyperfocus mode. Hyperfocus sounds impressive, You want to stay in hyperfocus mode because it helps you get things done. Unfortunately, distractions are everywhere. Now think about the concept of exercise. You know it's good for your health. It boosts your energy and improves your well-being, but why do you still skip exercising? It's because the thought of it seems tiring or daunting. Hyperfocus can feel the same way at first, but with practice, you can overcome that initial resistance. The first 40 seconds of hyperfocus mode are the most important. This is when you're most likely to get distracted. However, just 1 minute of purposeful attention can extend your time in hyperfocus mode. But how can you do this? There are 4 ways to overcome initial distractions. 1. Start small. Keep your hyperfocus periods short until you no longer feel resistance. If you plan to focus for an hour, reduce it to 45 minutes or even 10 minutes. 10 minutes of hyperfocus is enough to begin with. Over time, you can prepare yourself to stay in hyperfocus mode for longer. The goal here is to help you become comfortable with focused attention. 2. Recognize when you're too busy. The truth is, you always have time, but you choose to spend it elsewhere. Becoming aware of where your time is going will help you overcome initial distractions. For example, you might say you're too busy to have dinner with friends, but a typical dinner lasts less than 2 hours. Now, how much time do you spend scrolling through social media apps? Probably more than 2 hours. You always have time for what matters. It's those initial distractions that get in the way. 3. Keep practicing hyperfocus. Think of it like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The more you practice hyperfocus, the easier it becomes to overcome distractions. 4. Recharge. In other words, take a break. After spending time in hyperfocus mode, give yourself a moment to relax and recharge.
Recharging your attention. Now that you've learned how to sustain your attention for longer periods, congratulations. Hyperfocus mode can transform your life. However, be cautious, it requires a lot of mental energy. If your mind becomes exhausted, you'll lose your ability to focus. That's why it's essential to recharge your mental energy regularly. You might be worried that taking breaks will make you lose momentum. What if you struggle to get back into hyperfocus mode after a break? The truth is, it takes a long time to lose progress. As mentioned earlier, hyperfocus is like a muscle. If you've trained that muscle for months or years, it won't disappear in just a few weeks. You need to be aware of the signs that indicate you need a break. One clear sign is getting easily distracted. You'll find it harder to fully concentrate on a single task. Another sign is when your motivation weakens. These signs might not be as obvious, but you'll notice a lack of desire to work on certain tasks. When you start taking longer than necessary to complete simple tasks, it's a sign your mental energy is running low. For example, spending excessive time writing a report or organizing your desk for the 5th time in one day are indicators of low energy. There are certain things that help recharge your mind. One is sleep. Research shows that getting enough sleep improves your focus by 58%. It helps you feel refreshed and significantly boosts your productivity. Taking regular breaks throughout the day has a similar effect. Resting may sound simple. You probably think all you need to do is step out of hyperfocus mode, right? But it's more than that. Your break should be refreshing enough to restore your mental energy. An effective break should be low effort, enjoyable, and something you want to do. It should also be something that's not work-related. In short, your break should be effortless, but it should also bring you joy. Try to avoid using your phone during breaks. Instead, think of activities you can do once or twice a day and make a firm plan to do them. The author of this book, Chris Bailey, takes various kinds of breaks to recharge. He prefers walking to a coffee shop to get his favorite brew instead of having it delivered to his home. He leaves his phone behind during these walks. Sometimes, Chris recharges by going to the gym or meeting a friend. So, when should you take a break and for how long? That depends on you. Ultimately, you know best what kind of breaks give you the most energy. Take Sophia and Grace, for example. Sophia is an introvert who has to socialize with her coworkers. As a result, she often needs breaks to recharge. On the other hand, Grace is outgoing and cheerful. She socializes more easily and requires fewer breaks compared to Sophia. The point is, you should consider the nature of the task you're working on. This will give you a clue as to how long your break should be. Another factor to think about is your motivation for doing the task. Is the task challenging, or is it something you simply don't want to do? If either of these is true, you'll need to recharge more often. Research shows that taking a break every 90 minutes is beneficial. A 15-minute break after every hour of work is also effective. This might sound like a lot, but you can apply this routine to your typical workday. For instance, you could take a 1-hour lunch break and a 15-minute coffee break in the afternoon. Why 90 minutes, you ask? It's because mental energy comes in 90-minute waves. After working for 90 minutes, we often feel fatigued and distracted. It's a good idea to take advantage of your natural energy cycles. If you ever feel like you're struggling to focus, take a break. Even if you have a long list of tasks to complete, remember that taking breaks is crucial. Forcing yourself to focus when your mental energy is low is counterproductive.
Conclusion. First, you learned that it's essential to switch off autopilot mode. Doing the same things day in and day out limits your productivity. To truly accomplish your tasks, you need to regain your focus. People should focus on tasks that bring them satisfaction. This happens when you recognize whether your tasks are productive and enjoyable. This is where your energy should be invested. Second, you explored the concept of hyperfocus. Hyperfocus is the state where you direct all your attention to one task, and in doing so, it brings you happiness. There are 4 stages of entering hyperfocus mode. The first stage is setting the intention to focus on a specific task. The second stage involves eliminating both internal and external distractions. The third stage is understanding how long you should stay in hyperfocus mode. The fourth stage is learning how to refocus, even when distractions arise. Third, you learned how to make hyperfocus a habit. You can achieve this by meditating daily. Meditation is similar to hyperfocus because both require you to focus on one thing. Meditation helps you extend your attention span, allowing you to stay focused for longer periods. Fourth, you discovered how to recharge your attention. Hyperfocus can drain your mental energy, so it's crucial to take breaks and rest. You can recharge by getting enough sleep and taking frequent breaks. A restful break is one where you engage in something enjoyable with minimal effort. You can take a walk, chat with a friend, or follow a hobby to refresh yourself. Breaks should last at least 90 minutes, or you can take a 15-minute break after every hour of work. There's no limit to what you can achieve. The negative things you tell yourself act as chains that hold you back from success. This summary has shown you how to break free from those chains. Hyperfocus is a gift you give yourself. Use it to enhance your life to the fullest.
Thank you for watching this summary of Hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. If you're ready to improve your focus and productivity, start applying these powerful techniques today. For more valuable book summaries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with others who might benefit. I'll see you in the next one.